My name is Fred Margolin. I'm the CEO of Indoor Direct. Most of the digital signage industry is being financed based on advertiser involvement, and the acceptance of the effectiveness of digital signage or let's say digital networks is the crucial thing in order to let us get a bigger part of the pie. What's happening is that the conventional TV, radio, and newspapers have been encountering problems. Newspapers, of course, have really shrunk. TV has the TiVo issue and the fragmentation issue in terms of who they reach. And radio, just in general, has been losing some favor. And as a result, we are the industry is starting to look for other answers. Advertisers are, but the ad agencies have not caught up yet with sort of the needs, and there's got to be a lot of absolutely sort of pioneering effort in terms of the better personnel at the ad agencies and better understanding of the effectiveness of what we're doing. So if the industry can start proving itself and getting more sophisticated in the campaigns and tie-in, we're going to grow as a result of that. And I think as better networks start getting laid down, some of that is also going to be helpful. And there will be some consolidation that will allow for some more effective companies as well. We are focused in the QSR restaurant industry. The restaurant industry, the fast food industry, to us is the next great frontier, and the reason for that is because the most effective digital networks are where people sit and watch and engage, as opposed to where they walk and sort of notice. And we are a network of where we can play full content, we have dwell time, and we think there's a huge opportunity in the restaurant industry. And what stopped it is that there's been, the restaurant industry is composed of franchisors and franchisees, and the franchisors have been slow to adapt things, whereas the franchisees do it much faster. So it's been a very long haul into getting into some of these chains, but we're about now to be part of two major chains, and we expect that that's going to fuel some large growth and make the possibility of our company being a major company as opposed to sort of a startup. But we've already reached 1,100 restaurants, which is 13 million people a month watching, and we have the possibility of, if we can get the ad sales going, expanding to 13,000 restaurants, which would be over 150 million people a month. We think right now that there's two things, and I'm not really an expert in technology, but we are probably switching to satellite from DSL. So right off the bat, what's happened with satellite now is that with networks like ours, you could beam down, but the back channel, which required a DSL, was very expensive. And the whole process by which you can sort of get your information back, because we need a heartbeat, we need to know that the boxes are working, we need to have play results and things like that. The whole satellite industry has sort of gotten their act together with regard to that. Also, we are integrating the wireless with our DSL, and that seems to be important for the retail things. The third thing that's really happening is there's an integration of the mobile technology into the signage thing, and that's going to be sort of a big fusion. And I think it's going to take a lot longer than people think, because the signage usage isn't as direct as other places, because if you're eating or you're walking, you're not about to text and download the same way. So, but there is an integration there that's starting to be a bigger deal. So there's basically 3 or 4 technologies all converging together to sort of add to the punch of this thing. So instead of calling ourselves the Restaurant Television Network, we call ourselves the Restaurant Entertainment Network, because we're television, we're mobile, and we're wireless, all sort of converging in one technology. I was real anxious to speak on the subject, which was beyond CPM, and what that means is it's a measuring metric of how advertisers use the industry is sort of up in the air, and until the industry understands and the advertising industry understands the right metrics, we won't make the progress that we want to. And so I thought it was an important discussion to discuss the variables that are important in measuring us. The reason is because CPM was a metric that basically, when you were all television and radio, and that's where most advertising was, you're just comparing which program I want. So CPM, which is measuring how many people are watching, is relevant because you're in the same medium, so to speak. But what's happening now is that when you're trying to compare a restaurant network with a billboard network with and all that, it breaks down because they're doing different things and they have different advantages and things like that. So you have to be able to really push forward a metric that lets them basically understand their return on investment or their return on brand by utilizing your thing, that sort of equates things. And it's getting to be a much more complicated thing because there's a lot of variables in it. As far as the signage thing, you know, one thing is we're much more now involved in programming and advertising and working that, and this is still a very more of a technical space, so to speak. So we have a half a foot in it in terms of our network and a half a foot into other things, which we'd like to see, and that was one of the discussions, more integration of advertisers and the advertising medium coming in and sort of being a part of this, and it's not quite there yet. Digital signage, join the revolution.